May Day on May 1st is an ancient Northern Hemisphere spring festival and usually a public holiday. It is also a traditional spring holiday in many cultures. Dances, singing, and cake are usually part of the celebrations that the day includes. In the late 19th century, May Day was chosen as the date for International Workers' Day by the Socialists and Communists of the Second International to commemorate the Haymarket Affair in Chicago. International Workers' Day may also be referred to as May Day, but it is a different celebration from the traditional May Day. Traditional May Day origins and celebrations. The earliest May Day celebrations appeared in pre-Christian times, with the Floralia, Festival of Flora, the Roman goddess of flowers, held on April 27 during the Roman Republic era, and with the Walpurgis Night celebrations of the Germanic countries. It is also associated with the Gaelic Beltane, most commonly held on April 30. The day was a traditional summer holiday in many pre-Christian European pagan cultures. While February 1st was the first day of spring, May 1st was the first day of summer, hence, the summer solstice on June 25 was midsummer. As Europe became Christianized, the pagan holidays lost their religious character and May Day changed into a popular secular celebration. A significant celebration of May Day occurs in Germany, where it is one of several days on which St. Walburga, credited with bringing Christianity to Germany, is celebrated. The secular versions of May Day, observed in Europe and America, may be best known for their traditions of dancing around the maypole and crowning the Queen of May, fading in popularity since the late 20th century as the giving of May baskets, small baskets of sweets or flowers, usually left anonymously on neighbors' doorsteps. Since the 18th century, many Roman Catholics have observed May and May Day, with various May devotions to the Blessed Virgin Mary in works of art, school skits, and so forth. Mary's head will often be adorned with flowers in a May crowning. May 1st is also one of two feast days of the Catholic patron saint of workers, Saint Joseph the Worker, a carpenter, husband to Mother Mary, and surrogate father of Jesus, replacing another feast to Saint Joseph. This date was chosen by Pope Pius XII in 1955 as a counterpoint to the Communist International Workers' Day celebrations on May Day. Beginning in the late 20th century, many neo-pagans began reconstructing traditions and celebrating May Day as a pagan religious festival. Europe. Great Britain. Traditional English May Day rites and celebrations include Morris dancing, crowning a May Queen, and celebrations involving a maypole. Much of this tradition derives from the pagan Anglo-Saxon customs held during the Trimalchi monarchy, along with many Celtic traditions. May Day has been a traditional day of festivities throughout the centuries. May Day is most associated with towns and villages celebrating springtime fertility and revelry with village fetes and community gatherings. Seeding has been completed by this date and it was convenient to give farm laborers a day off. Perhaps the most significant of the traditions is the maypole, around which traditional dances circle with ribbons. The May Day bank holiday, on the first Monday in May, was traditionally the only one to affect the state school calendar. In 2008, when Easter Sunday fell very early on the 23rd of March, some schools broke up after Easter to even out the length of school terms. This meant that Good Friday and Easter Monday, which vary from year to year, were days off. A repetition is not planned for 2016, when Easter Sunday is the 27th of March. The spring bank holiday on the first Monday in May was created in 1978. May Day itself, May 1st, is not a public holiday in England. In February 2011, the UK Parliament was reported to be considering scrapping the bank holiday associated with May Day, replacing it with a bank holiday in October, possibly coinciding with Trafalgar Day. To create a United Kingdom Day, May Day was abolished and its celebration banned by Puritan parliaments during the interregnum, but reinstated with the restoration of Charles II in 1660. May 1, 1707, was the day the Act of Union came into effect, joining England and Scotland to form the Kingdom of Great Britain. In Oxford, it is traditional for May morning revellers to gather below the Great Tower of Magdalen College at 6 a.m. to listen to college choir sing traditional madrigals as a conclusion to the previous night's celebrations. It is then thought to be traditional for some people to jump off Magdalen Bridge into the River Cherwell. In recent years, the bridge has been closed on the 1st of May to prevent people from jumping, as the water under the bridge is only 2 feet deep and jumping from the bridge has resulted in serious injury in the past. There are still people who climb the barriers and leap into the water, causing themselves injury. In Durham, students of the University of Durham gather on Prebends Bridge to see the sunrise and enjoy festivities, folk music, dancing, madrigal singing and a barbecue breakfast. This is an emerging Durham tradition, with patchy observance since 2001. Kingsbury Episcopi, Somerset, has seen its yearly May Day festival celebrations on the May Bank holiday Monday burgeon in popularity in the recent years. Since it was reinstated 21 years ago, it has grown in size, and on May 5, 2014, thousands of revelers were attracted from all over the southwest to enjoy the festivities, with BBC Somerset covering the celebrations. These include traditional maypole dancing and Morris dancing, as well as a number of excellent contemporary music acts. Artists such as Mad Dog McRae and the Three Daft Monkeys have played in previous years. In 2014, the Green Man stage was graced with 4 acts, including traditional Somerset folk singer Mary Bateman, upbeat folk act the Roving Crows, solo acoustic artist Gaz Brookfield and the Lounge Lizards. Whitstable, Kent, hosts a good example of more traditional May Day festivities, where the Jack in the Green Festival was revived in 1976 and continues to lead an annual procession of Morris dancers through the town on the May Bank holiday. A separate revival occurred in Hastings in 1983 and has become a major event in the town calendar. A traditional sweeps festival is performed over the May Bank holiday in Rochester, Kent, where the Jack in the Green is woken at dawn on May 1 by Morris dances. At 7:15 p.m. on May 1 each year, the Kettlebridge clogs Morris dancing side dance across Barming Bridge, which spans the River Medway near Maidstone, to mark the official start of the Morris dancing season. Also known as Ashtoria Day in northern parts of rural Cumbria, a celebration of unity and female bonding. Although not very well known, it is often cause for huge celebration. The May Day run involves thousands of motorbikes taking a 55-mile trip from London to the Hastings seafront, East Sussex. The event has been taking place for almost 30 years now and has grown in interest from around the country, both commercially and publicly. The event is not officially organised. The police only manage the traffic, and volunteers manage the parking. Padstow in Cornwall holds its annual Obios Day of festivities. This is believed to be one of the oldest fertility rites in the UK. Revellers dance with the os through the streets of the town and even through the private gardens of the citizens, accompanied by accordion players and followers dressed in white with red or blue sashes who sing the traditional May Day song. The whole town is decorated with springtime greenery, and every year thousands of onlookers attend. Prior to the 19th century, distinctive May Day celebrations were widespread throughout West Cornwall, and are being revived in St. Ives and Penzance. Kingsand, Corsand and Millbrook in Cornwall celebrate flower boat ritual on the May Day bank holiday. A model of the ship the Black Prince is covered in flowers and is taken in procession from the quay at Millbrook to the beach at Corsand, where it is cast adrift. The houses in the villages are decorated with flowers and people traditionally wear red and white clothes. There are further celebrations in Corsand Square with Morris dancing and maypole dancing. At the University of St Andrews, some of the students gather on the beach late on April 30 and run into the North Sea at sunrise on May Day, occasionally naked. This is accompanied by torchlit processions and much elated celebration. Both Edinburgh and Glasgow organise May Day festivals and rallies. In Edinburgh, the Beltane Fire Festival is held on the evening of May, even into the early hours of May Day on the city's Calton Hill. An older Edinburgh tradition has it that young women who climb Arthur's Seat and wash their faces in the morning dew will have lifelong beauty. In the 20th century, May Day has also become linked to International Workers' Day in Great Britain, even though the holiday is not officially a Labour Day. In London, the May Day March and Rally, organised by the May Day Committee, gather together in Clerkenwell Green near the Marx Memorial Library before marching to Trafalgar Square for a rally with speeches from representatives of local, national and international trades unions and campaigning organisations. This event always takes place on May 1st with the intention to reinstate May 1st, regardless of what day it falls on, as a national holiday. More images and information of London's May Day rally is covered by the Working Class Heroes Project. Finland's celebrations among the younger generations take place on May Day Eve. See Walpurgis Night in Finland, most prominent being the afternoon crowning of statues in towns around the country with a student cap. May Day is known as Vappu in Finnish. This is a public holiday that is the only carnival-style street festivity in the country. People young and old, particularly students, party outside, picnic and wear caps or other decorative clothing. A similar product can also be bought in all stores. Some Finns also make donuts and a crisp pastry fried in oil made from a similar, more liquid dough. Balloons and other decorations like paper streamers are seen everywhere. Estonia May Day or Spring Day is a national holiday in Estonia celebrating the arrival of spring. More traditional festivities take place throughout the night before and into the early hours of May 1st, on the Walpurgis Night. France. On May 1, 1561, King Charles IX of France received a lily of the valley as a lucky charm. He decided to offer a lily of the valley each year to the ladies of the court. At the beginning of the 20th century, it became custom to give a sprig of lily of the valley, a symbol of springtime, on May 1. The government permits individuals and workers' organizations to sell them tax-free. Nowadays, people may present loved ones either with bunches of lily of the valley or dog rose flowers. Germany. In rural regions of Germany, especially the Harz Mountains, Walpurgisnacht celebrations of pagan origin are traditionally held on the night before May Day, including bonfires and the wrapping of a Maybaum. Young people use this opportunity to party, while the day itself is used by many families to get some fresh air. Motto: Towns in den Mai. In the Rhineland, May 1st is also celebrated by the delivery of a maypole, a tree covered in streamers, to the house of a girl the night before. The tree is typically from a love interest, though a tree wrapped only in white streamers is a sign of dislike. Women usually place roses or rice in the form of a heart at the house of their beloved one. It is common to stick the heart to a window or place it in front of the doormat. In leap years, it is the responsibility of the women to place the maypole. All the action is usually done secretly, and it is an individual's choice whether to give a hint of their identity or stay anonymous. May Day was not established as a public holiday until 1933. As Labour Day, many political parties and unions host activities related to work and employment. Ireland. May Day has been celebrated in Ireland since pagan times as the Feast of Beltane and in latter times as Mary's Day. Traditionally, bonfires were lit to mark the coming of summer and to banish the long nights of winter. Officially, Irish May Day holiday is the first Monday in May. Old traditions such as bonfires are no longer widely observed, though the practice still persists in some places across the country. Limerick, Clare and many other people in other counties still keep on this tradition, such as the town of Arklow and Co. Wicklow, Italy. In Italy it is called Calendar Maggio or Cantar Maggio, a seasonal feast held to celebrate the arrival of spring. The event takes its name from the period in which it takes place, that is, the beginning of May, from the Latin Calendar Maya. The Calendar Maggio is a tradition still alive today in many regions of Italy as an allegory of the return to life and rebirth. Among these Piedmont, Liguria, Lombardy, Emilia-Romagna, Tuscany and Umbria. This magical propitiatory ritual is often performed during an almsgiving in which, in exchange for gifts, the Magi sing auspicious verses to the inhabitants of the houses they visit. Throughout the Italian peninsula, these Il Maggio couplets are very diverse. Most are love songs with a strong romantic theme that young people sang to celebrate the arrival of spring. Symbols of spring revival are the trees and flowers, mentioned in the verses of the songs, and with which the Magrini adorn themselves. In particular, the plant alder, which grows along the rivers, is considered the symbol of life, and that's why it is often present in the ritual. Calendar Maggio can be historically noted in Tuscany as a mythical character who had a predominant role and met many of the attributes of the god, Belinus. In Lucania, the Magi have a clear auspicious character of pagan origin. In Syracuse, Sicily, the Albero della Cucigna is held during the month of May, a feast celebrated to commemorate the victory over the Athenians led by Nicias. However, Angelo de Gubernatus, in his work Mythology of Plants, believes that without doubt the festival was previous to that of said victory. It is a celebration that dates back to ancient peoples, and is very integrated with the rhythms of nature, such as the Celts, Etruscans and Ligures, in which the arrival of summer was of great importance. Bulgaria. On May Day, Bulgarians celebrate Ermindon. The holiday is associated with snakes and lizards, and rituals are made in order to protect people from them. The name of the holiday comes from the prophet Jeremiah, but its origins are most probably pagan. It is said that on the days of the Holy 40 or Annunciation, snakes come out of their burrows, and on Ermindon the king comes out. Old people believe that those working in the fields on this day will be bitten by a snake in summer. In western Bulgaria, people light fires, jump over them and make noises to scare snakes. Another custom is to prepare podnosi. This day is especially observed by pregnant women so that their offspring do not catch yeremia, an illness due to evil powers. Romania. On May Day, the Romanians celebrate the Armindon, the beginning of summer, symbolically tied with the protection of crops and farm animals. The name comes from Slavonic Jeremii Nudini, meaning Prophet Jeremiah's Day, but the celebration rites and habits of this day are apotropaic and pagan. The day is also called Ziua Pelan Lui or Ziua Betavilor, and it is celebrated to ensure good wine in autumn for people and farm animals alike. Good health and protection from the elements of nature. People would have parties in the nature with lottery, for those who could afford it. There, it is customary to roast and eat lamb. Also eat new mutton cheese and drink mugwort-flavored wine or just red wine to refresh the blood and get protection from diseases. On the way back, the men wear lilac or mugwort flowers on their hats. Other apotropaic rites include, in some areas of the country, people washing their faces with the morning dew and adorning the gates for good luck and abundance with green branches or with birch saplings. The entries to the animals' shelters are also adorned with green branches. All branches are left in place until the wheat harvest, when they are used in the fire which will bake the first bread from the new wheat. On May Day Eve, country women do not work in the field as well as in the house to avoid devastating storms and hail coming down on the village. Armindon is also Zilua boy law, and thus the animals are not to be used for work, or else they could die or their owners could get ill. It is said that the weather is always good on May Day to allow people to celebrate. Spain. In Galicia, the festival is called Os Maios, and it consists in different representations around a decorated tree or sculpture. People sing popular songs making mentions to social and political events during the past year, sometimes under the form of a converse. while they walk around the sculpture with the percussion of 2 sticks. In Lugo and in the village of Villa Garcia de Arauza it was usual to ask a tip to the attendees, which used to be a handful of dry chestnuts, walnuts or hazelnuts. Today the tradition became a competition where the best sculptures and songs receive a prize. In the city of Orense this day is celebrated traditionally on the 3rd of May, the day of the Holy Cross, that in the Christian tradition replaced the tree, where the health, life and resurrection are, according to the introit of that day's Mass. Sweden. The more traditional festivities have moved to the day before, Walpurgis Night, known in some locales as simply last of April. The 1st of May is instead celebrated as International Workers' Day.